Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another.
Starting out great. All right. You know what's really funny, too? I haven't hit record yet, so we're going to take that a second time. Go
Sweet.
ahead.
Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo! How's it going? I forgot to button my shirt, too. We're having a really bad intro right now, but I think it's kind of charming, and we hope you like it.
I'm still chewing a sandwich.
So I'm Adam Diaz. This is Robin Grace. This is where you say hello.
Oh, hello.
And we're going to read you some homegrown horrors, which are stories that you folks have sent us. Robin, give them an in-depth description of what a homegrown horror is.
So homegrown horrors are the lovely stories of supernatural, paranormal, spiritual experiences, night terrors, sleep paralysis, what is that?
Coincidences where things you thought were scary turned out to be completely benign that wound up being hilarious. Those are always really, really fun, too.
Yeah.
So if you have any stories like that, please email us. The email address is storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to our website, scarish.com, click on Contact Us, and send us your story that way. You can go to all of our social medias, facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod, and Instagram is @scarishpodcast. Feel free to reach out to us however you would like. And if you want to reach out to us and say, yo, dogs, like, please don't read this story, I just want to talk to someone about it, we are absolutely available for that, too. Quick shout out to everyone who is watching us because these episodes are recorded live every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is around what time it is right now. And you can watch at youtube.com/scarish, twitch.tv/scarishpodcast. So fun stuff. I will say we only have 4 today. They're all kind of long. We're going to switch to 4, I think, for a little while. Some of the episodes have been running kind of long. We had a few folks tell us, like, you know, when you did the 4 Storytime episodes, those were like spot on. And I know a lot of you folks like make them as long as possible. But we're probably going to do 4 for a little while unless we get a giant influx of emails again. We're trying to like burn through to catch up. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We haven't discussed who's going to go first. I think it's going to wind up being me, though.
Sweet.
Okay. So, the first email, I will say, too, if you guys hear any background noise, everyone can blame Robin's sister, Liz, who is joining us in the studio. Liz has helped us with so many things on this show. Shout out to Spooky Sis, who she went with us to the Winchester Mystery House. She did all the photography. She did the videography. She did the editing for that entire thing. So thank you to her. She also did.
Stick your hand in there and just wave.
She also she made my favorite sticker that we have, which is the Betsy Burger sticker. So shout out to Liz. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the first one. Shout out to Laura Ann 588 who just resubscribed.
Thank you so much.
With their Twitch Prime, which they acquired by linking their Amazon Prime account to the second month, and the message they subscribe with is woo.
And if you folks don't have Amazon Prime, if you go to scarish.com, go all the way down to the bottom, you can get 30 days of free Amazon Prime just by going through that link.
Just try it out. Take that money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket.
And then connect it to your Twitch.
And if you already have one, and that means you get 5 free dollar dues once a month to give to a podcast. Well, I won't say podcast, but give to a Twitch channel. We'd prefer it if you gave it to us. But yeah, spend that money. So I want to say before we get started, I don't know why I just thought of this, but something happened on Tuesday. We did our episode, came out, great reception. Thank you, folks, for that. And I was like, we're going to get a lot of talk about human sacrifice. We're going to get a lot of talk about the EVP stuff. I made some awesome, funny jokes that I thought everyone would be hyped. And all that anyone has been talking about is north, south, east, west, and how you remember it. Because I said never eat soggy Wheaties or never eat sour watermelon. Those are the two I was raised with.
Never eat sour waffles.
It's a bunch of different stuff. So I don't know exactly how you folks. It's funny because we usually do this or that, team fan or team no fan, and it divides everyone, and we pick something, and we're all just very different. But I'm going to go with never end scary-ish wooing from now on.
Oh, wow.
Because I think it works perfect. So there you go. That is for you. Teach your kids, and then make them listen to our podcast when they get old enough to understand swear words. So, going to get into this first story of the evening, and the subject is fucking Adam and his recovered memories, which I think is a solid way to start out. And it says, hey, Paige again. Hey, Paige. Good job with the comma, because you kind of need to have that so that we know it's not, hey, Paige, again, because I'd have been like, my name's not Paige. So Robin's like really deep in thought over there. She's not going to say hi to you.
Hello. I'm trying to look at my emails that I have going on.
The email says, so the more I listen, the more stories I have. I'm blaming Adam and all his talk of recovered memories, so that makes sense. Here are a few dreams I've remembered while listening. If you're still reading emails, you can read this one. We are still reading emails, so thank you for that.
Nice.
And this first, subsection of the story's, title is The Asshole Brain of a 9 or 10-Year-Old. When I was in 5th or 6th grade, my mom and I were living with her uncle and his wife. They have 2 kids, so my mom and I shared a room, but she was gone a lot. I started having nightmares where people in my family would die in the most horrific ways. Those nightmares are horrible. Like, I have those nightmares as well as an adult, and that sucks. And they'd happen every single night. In one, my grandma and I were walking somewhere, and she went across the street and was hit by a car.
What
Or,
the F?
right, this is intense. Or my aunt would be stabbed, my sister was kidnapped, her dad, in parentheses, my ex-stepdad, drowned. Everybody would die in these dreams. I had these dreams for weeks, but my mom was never in any of them.
These are horrifying.
Until the last dream I had like that. In this dream, she took me out to lunch at a restaurant we'd never been to. I remember that I had a sandwich on my plate and a lemonade to drink while my mom had a burger and soda.
I don't like where this is going.
She got up to use the bathroom and took her purse with her. I sat there for what felt like forever waiting for her. I finally got up and went to the bathroom. When I got there, all the things from her purse were on the floor and there was blood everywhere. I woke up screaming. My mom, aunt, and uncle all came into the room freaking out. My mom held me until I went back to sleep, and the next day she made me a dream catcher and bought me a wind chime in the shape of an angel. She told me the dream catcher would filter the dreams, and if any got through, the wind chime would catch them. We weren't and aren't religious, so I don't know why she picked that wind chime, but it worked. I still remember all of these dreams like they happened yesterday, and I hate them. I don't know what was going on with my brain at such a young age, but it sucked. So that's awesome that the dream catcher worked.
I've never had one.
I think I've been given one. I think my dad had a really big one, but I've never had one like in my room or anything like that. I mean, I could try it. I have nightmares all the time, so I might want to give it a little shot.
I was gonna say, like,
as soon as it doesn't work, though, I'll be like, this thing, horse shit. And I don't want to offend anyone's culture because I'm snarky like that. But yeah, I just never tried one.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you got a dream catcher and you could tell when it started catching your bad dreams because it started turning a different color? Like, say it started turning really dark or something like that because it's catching those bad dreams.
Because it's filtering that stuff out.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It's like Freddy Krueger shows up and you like look at your watch like, hang on a sec, bro. Hang on. There. Yep, there you go. You're getting filtered out. He's like, no. Poor Freddy Krueger. All right. So the email goes on. This next one is called People Outside the Window. On a much lighter note, as I mentioned in my last email, my mom and I sometimes have the same dreams. When I was 16, my best friend, in parentheses, Kelly, was spending the night. She had woken up in the middle of the night to hear me sleep talking. I was whispering and told her that there were people outside the window. She asked me who, but I stopped talking at that point. Later, the next day, my mom was telling us about a dream she had where people were trying to break into the house. They apparently started at the front door but moved to the windows. She didn't see them but knew because I had told her and had told me to be quiet. Kelly freaked out and told both of us to shut up because we weren't helping her get over her night terrors. That is hilarious.
That is hilarious. And that's really cool that you could share dreams with your mom, but at the same time, that's really creepy that you would dream the same time about something so scary, you know?
It's really,
I don't like strangers outside my window, outside my door, outside my house. I don't like strangers in general.
I think it's really cool that you were able to have this validated by your friend who you also terrified. Like, that's always fun to get validation, to be like, I'm not crazy, we're not making this up. And to also scare your friend, that's like just a win-win right there. So this next one's called No Fucking Decaf. And it starts out like this.
Wait, what? No fucking...
Decaf.
No. Like, no.
No fucking decaffeinated coffee.
Okay.
I tried to wake my mom up one time so that she could take me to school, and I opened her bedroom door and quietly said, Mom, are you awake? She sat up and yelled at me, I told you, I don't want any fucking decaf, and immediately laid back down.
Oh my gosh.
I closed the door and left her alone for a bit. I eventually woke her up and told her about it, and she asked me why I tried to bring her decaf fucking coffee. We've talked about it in my adult life, and she still acts like it's my fault. And then for my last one, which is titled, Noping the Fuck Away from the Dragon. Okay. This is either high adventure or about heroin.
What?
Chasing the dragon? That's what they call it. Like, you got to chase that high after you do heroin the first time, so then you keep chasing the dragon. Yeah, dude. You've never seen that South Park episode where they make a game called, like, Band Hero? I think they actually call it Rock Band or Guitar Hero. And, like, Stan gets really good at it, and then he starts being shitty because he's, like, being an asshole. So he starts playing a different game where all he does is, like, inject heroin and chase a dragon. And he's like, I gotta chase the dragon. It's just, okay, I'm going to get on with this. So, noping away from the dragon. The first lucid dream I ever had was when I was a teenager and I was stuck in a lake, basically drowning. Okay, so they had the dream when they were a teenager. In the dream, they were stuck in a lake. Because that would be a really weird time to be like, I'm going to try a lucid dream right now. So they were stuck in a lake, basically drowning, and there was a fucking dragon trying to eat me. I was swimming towards the shore, but no matter how hard or how fast I swam, I couldn't make it. I started to tread water and looked up. Something in my head clicked, and I realized I was asleep and that I couldn't be hurt. Suddenly, the water level started to go down, and I told the dragon to go fuck itself. I woke up shortly after that and was very happy with myself. That's it. Keep on creeping on. Oh, they aren't black or scary, but here are my omen babies. The orange one is Franco after James, not Dave.
Wow.
The fact you make that distinction means you definitely have a favorite there. And the calico is Tiny Cat. Not her actual name, but it's what we call her because my boyfriend gave her the stupidest name, which is not shared with us because
now we need to know what the stupid name is.
Yeah, that's where it ends. So now we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know about your other dreams, but more importantly, we need to know the name of this cat.
Also, I mean, come on. Decaf is a nightmare.
Decaf is a nightmare.
Yeah, that's just the worst thing you could ever give someone.
Also, Dave Franco is more talented and more attractive. Just going to put that out there.
The younger brother?
Hashtag controversial opinion.
I like the younger brother. I think he's attractive.
Okay, I'll be real about this one. I don't want to like set too many people off who are like, I'll fucking kill you. I think Dave Franco is more attractive. That's just me. That's my personal taste.
They both have like crazy eyebrows though. I don't know.
Yeah. Dave Franco is consistent in the fact that he's good in movies for me. James Franco has two modes. Oscar worthy or putrid garbage. Like you see him in 127 hours, you're like, holy shit, like that was incredible. And then you watch Spider-Man 3 and you're like, fuck that guy. Like he basically showed up, like laughed his way through all of his scenes like this movie sucks, collected his paycheck and bounced. And I just feel like that's James Franco. Like, did you watch him host the Oscars? That dude did not give a shit, man. Like if you're such a good actor, pretend like you care for 3 hours.
Roast?
Yeah, I did watch his roast.
Was it good?
It was all right. I've watched all those roasts, I'm pretty sure. So I just don't remember any individual performances except Gilbert Godfrey, and I don't remember what roast that was on. But him and Snoop Dogg basically went up. Snoop Dogg went first, then Gilbert Godfrey, and it's some of the funniest shit you'll ever see. So, right on.
Well, all right.
That was fun.
So much.
Thank you for sending that. So this is going to be our first break to look over into the stream chat. Shout out to all you folks watching over there on YouTube. I'm using a different app to monitor you because the app that I normally use got updated last week and no longer works. Shocker. So Akbar was first in, says hi with Blanca Bella saying hello, and Alexandra saying hello, friends. Welcome back, Alexandra.
Lots of people here saying hi. The Snark says, I'm here on a start for the first time.
What up?
Captain Fake Eye said that they are from California, and they said that they were taught never eat soggy waffles. So maybe it's a West Coast thing because a lot of my friends said never eat soggy waffles as well.
I think it's a West Coast thing.
I think it has to be a West Coast
Soggy
thing.
Wheaties got to be like a Midwest thing, and sour watermelon I think is just a wild card because I only know like a few people who say it, but they're from all
But a lot
over.
of people say Midwest. When I've brought up eating Wheaties and stuff like that.
But I don't know why that's I get that it's Midwest thing, but I don't know why that is a Midwest thing. Like we have waffles in the Midwest too. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Spooky Zora grew up in California, said never eat soggy wheat. So
wheat or Wheaties? Because people are now saying someone said sour wheat, which doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, none of this makes sense.
How would you know if it's sour unless you ate it?
How would you know if any of this stuff tastes like shit unless you ate it? Let's be real.
Oh, someone posted on Facebook and they said squishy worms. I like that one.
Never eat shit, weirdo. I think that one works too.
Oh my god.
There you go. I'm just gonna come up with them all night. Looks like Urkala says hello or Urkala. I can't tell. Erica says hi. So thank you all. Britt Newt has also joined us, and Julia W says, yay, this is the soonest I've been here. Hi, friend. And Glitch is also here. He says, hello, all. Twitch is being Twitch, so I am here. LOL.
It was a glitch in the Twitch.
Graciela says, I get it. Yeah. Says, woo, Spooky Zora here. I hope YouTube works better than Twitch for me today. Let me check and make sure we're not dropping any frames. It seems like we're okay, so it might just be Twitch being Twitch.
The Snark says, decaf is devil water. You can't remove the tomato content out of a tomato. Call it de-tomato.
That's funny. Akbar says, Jeebus, my internet is slow. Harley says, Twitch isn't working for me. It's either my crap laptop or the site. It's the site. Shout out to the Snark for his kindness last week. Never eat seaweed. Well, that's good to know. It's a good one, too.
But I love seaweed.
Yeah, shout out to the Snark, though. You are kind and you are amazing.
Yes.
And Cat Beatrix is also here. Don't eat burnt beans. This is from Texas. That's what Glitch Grim says. It's so fucking funny. Yeah, it's like north. It's Dorth, east, Bouth, and Best. Duh. God.
East. I thought you said Weast.
Erica says, hey, anyone in San Diego must visit places. I might be going in December. Whaley House, that's the one I know. Graciela says, I'm in Minnesota today traveling for work, and the hotel they put us in doesn't have Wi-Fi, so like I'm doing my best.
Aw.
Thank you so much.
Now all I'm thinking of is SpongeBob, where Patrick gets the stupid Seaman belt or whatever, right? Where he's like, M for Minnie, W for Wumbo, he, she, we, Wumbo.
Oh yeah, that one.
I can't believe you've
That
never watched
old chestnut.
SpongeBob. You gotta watch
Cat
it.
Beatrix says, what is the mnemonic for? It's northeast, southwest. We talked about it on the most recent episode that came out on Tuesday, and we had a debate about what makes the most sense. So fun stuff. I'm caught up over my YouTube stuff. So
Carly says, my sister tried to wake me up once, and I yelled, I'm not in the mood for donuts, and I have no memory of it.
my mom, I used to sleepwalk all the time. One of the crazy things I said while I was sleepwalking, my mom came into my room and I was like looking for something under my bed. She's like, just get back into bed, go to sleep. I was like, all right, Mom, just don't make me go to Lee's house. She's like my best friend. I used to stay over there all the time. She's like, okay, just get back into bed. It's weird stuff that you say when you're sleepy.
Carly said soggy waffles in Georgia and Alabama. The Snark says they use news, N-E-W-S.
A lot of people use news, but it's like a zigzag, and I don't like to zig that zag because like I would have gotten confused about which one was supposed to be where.
Miranda says, am I the only one who just remembered the directions without a mnemonic device? I can't remember any of the directions. So
things in general.
When I'm trying to point at where I have to drive, I'm like, north, what side is that? North, and I have to say it in my head, you know?
I don't often throw indirect shade. I'm usually pretty direct, but I will go ahead and 100% admit that the post I put in the Scary Spooky Friends group today was 100% about Robin. Because I said, like, all these people keep posting the different ways they remember this. I want to know how good you are at remembering directions if you're going to tell me that I'm wrong with how I remember mine. Because I am never eat soggy Wheaties. I'm pretty good with directions, just saying. Then there's some people out there who are like, never eat soggy waffles. And I'm like, hey, are we going to go to California? Like, yeah, we just have to head north. It's like, nope, you're going the wrong way. That's San Francisco. We're going to LA, bro. So, yeah, fun stuff.
All right.
All right, I'm going to mark this. Go ahead and transition us into the next email.
So this next email for the night is titled Random Paranoia, and it begins. Hello, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Rebecca, and I've been listening to your podcast for about a year. Anyways, I'm here to share a few stories. Sorry, but they're so long. I figured I'd share them all now. Hope you enjoy them, and feel free to skip some stories if you'd like. I think you'll be fine.
I think Rebecca sent 2 emails. And one will be on the next show because we're only doing 4 and someone slipped one in before she got her second email in. So don't think we skipped those. They're just coming at a different time.
Okay. So I really don't believe in paranormal due to a religious family, but I've had a few things that creep me out / make me paranoid. Wait, so a religious family doesn't believe in paranormal activity?
Not all. Some
What?
religions are very different. Like I dated a Jehovah's Witness chick when I was in, high school. And their family was just very adamant, like, we don't believe in ghosts, we don't believe in spirits, we don't believe in stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in particular that they're like, we believe in these specific things, and the other things that are like more paranormal, we don't really believe in that. There are a bunch of different practicing Jehovah's Witness sects, I guess you could call them, just basically depending on where you are in the country, that have like different, like, I won't say, it's like different levels of like belief. I know some people who are just like super laid back that have never like witnessed or knocked on doors. And, like, I knew some people that was, like, every day. Like, they'd go to school, then go out with their family and knock on doors to preach the word. So that's the one I'm familiar with. So there's probably more out there. So there you go. You're welcome.
Cool. So, first story goes, as a child, I had imaginary friends like most kids. I don't know about most kids. I never had one.
I didn't either. You're a weirdo.
Did you have one?
I'm kidding. You're not a weirdo.
My sisters never had one. I don't know. We've just never had any.
I didn't have one. She didn't have one. Our niece has one.
But my older sister didn't have one either. I think it's...
Robin's basically really illustrating how abnormal you were as a child.
No. But it's just like... I find it completely fascinating. And I love hearing about people's imaginary friends and how they interacted with them. And we don't get enough feedback on that, I feel like. People don't really message us a lot about, hey... I had this imaginary friend growing up.
I agree.
If you folks do have experiences and stories like that, let us know. We would love to hear about you having imaginary friends.
We'd love to hear about how weird you were as a child.
Shut up.
I was a weird kid and I didn't have an imaginary friend. I'm like
I was
kind
a
of
weird
upset at
kid.
myself.
My mom and dad just made fun of me because I didn't walk normal till I was like 10.
It's
So
not a weirdness so much as it is like a disability, I guess.
it's fucked up.
So why don't you keep going?
Okay, so the imaginary friends. Mine were two monsters. Neither of them had faces. One of my friends named Lemon, who was yellow, and the other one, which I guess was my enemy, was orange. All right. The color orange. So now one day I awoke from a nap and we had a round table with a long tablecloth over it. It went down to the ground and Orange ran after me. I started crying, not knowing where anyone in the family was, and I ran outside to find everyone on the front porch. Now, whether these friends were actual beings, I've got no clue, but my mom definitely remembers this happening and me talking about my monster friends. I find imaginary friends so fascinating. I have a collection. Oh, the second story. I have a collection of plushies, like my Supernatural plushes and Dan and Phil ones, and I have them on a bookshelf in my room. And surprisingly, I'm not paranoid of them, but I've had moments where a doll or plush will make me very uncomfortable. I was actually laying in bed listening to your podcast when I hear a tap on my window, which I just made up an excuse of it's a bug. Since it was night and I had lights on in my room attracting bugs to my window.
Was it tap, 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 tap? Seriously, though, like that extended warranty
Oh my
on your car.
gosh. That was...
It's a funny joke. I don't care what you say.
Okay. I simply look over and a dog plush of my cousin's was on my desk, and for some reason I just felt very uncomfortable since its face was towards me and it just gave me chills. So I moved it out of sight, which is a solid move.
Right? Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. Third story goes, we have a long hallway and at the end of my room and my mom's room. In the middle of the hall, we have a bathroom and a playroom off to the sides. By playroom, I mean we have a room with toys for my baby cousin, and it creeps me the fuck out. I always turn the light on in that hallway and run past the room. Dude, I totally do that sometimes when I'm really paranoid and scared. I will run past a dark room because I'm just like, I can't risk seeing something in there. I just can't.
I got really creeped out. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. I might have. But I woke up at like 3 a.m. like 3 days in a row. And that last night, I was like creeped out when I woke up. I didn't even know what time it was. I just woke up. I was like, I have a really bad feeling right now. Like a really bad vibe. And I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I need to pee. It's like, I'm going to stay in bed though. Like, I'm not going to get up.
Did I scare you one of those nights?
No. Like, I got up. I think a different night you decided you needed to pee. And like, you go to the bathroom. I leave the lights off. You can kind of see in the dark. Just enough to aim. And then I was coming out and I like opened the bathroom door and you were just standing right there. Like you didn't knock, you didn't try and come in. And like as soon as I opened the door, you're like, I need to pee. I was like, holy shit. It's terrifying. Yeah, I got super creeped out one
night he woke up at like 3 a.m. and he just tells me, hey, I woke up at 3 a.m.
It was that night.
And I just don't even open my eyes. I'm like, that's weird. And I just go back to sleep because I don't care.
Here's the deal, man. Like, if we get haunted and there's a demon like at the door, I will warn her. She'll go back to sleep. I'll be like, I tried. Like, I'll find a new co-host.
If there's something really scary, our dog will wake up.
Yeah, she did, though. Remember I told you she, like, came out from under the bed and was like, or no. Our dog that usually doesn't sleep under our bed was whining. And our dog from under the bed came out and like laid down next to her. I told you this shit. You just don't remember anything because you're a human Etch-a-Sketch. It's because you get abducted and they flashy thing you. Oh, wait, no, the Men in Black do that. You get abducted by people. Kidnapped.
You're so dumb.
Whatever.
Okay, anyway. My mother thinks I'm insane being a 17-year-old teen and still running past a room out of fear. What can I say? It scares me. I totally relate to that. I totally understand the feeling. Paranoia, sometimes it just happens. Fourth story. One night, I really had to pee. What are the odds? So I went to the hall bathroom.
I'm going to fucking soundbite that. What are the odds thing? That's going to be an emote on our stream.
So I went to the hall bathroom. Shut up. I hate you. Okay. Shit. So I went to the hall bathroom, one in the story above. As I was using said bathroom, I started to hear a baby crying. No.
That just reminds me of Hill House. Like that whole monologue that guy has where he tells him like, maybe your wife should take some time away. And he's like, it's not your place. Then he gives him a monologue for 5 minutes about like all that crazy shit that happened to him in Hill House.
Yeah.
That is just like the best scene in that entire series.
Which again creeped me the fuck out since there were baby dolls in the room next to the bathroom. I then realized my baby cousin was over and I had a wave of relief flow over me, which is nice because if there were no babies, then what? Fifth story. I have moments when I'll just be walking and think I see someone sitting in our living room, front room next to the front door, out of my peripheral vision. Every time I turn around, nothing is there, which creeps me out. Sometimes my paintings have the same effect on me and I'll think it's a real person and flip out. Those 5 stories are all from my house / my grandparents' house / real house. Nice.
Lots of houses.
Yeah, paintings, sometimes pictures and stuff like that, if I stare at it too long, they look like they start to move, but that's just because I'm staring, you know, and your mind wants to do something with the stuff you're staring at.
It's like staring into a mirror for too long, especially if it's like a mirror across from a mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like doing that.
I swear, man, like I used to get my hair cut, excuse me. I used to get my hair cut in Portage, Indiana, and it was like an old-fashioned barbershop where it had like 10 chairs on one side and 10 chairs on the other side. And I would like sit there and you'd like obviously be pointed at the mirror, and on the other side was the other mirror. So you just see like layer upon layer of you getting your hair cut. And there was just one time I could have sworn like I saw like 10 layers deep just do something different than what I had done. It was super creepy.
Maybe it's just like time.
It's because you stare at it for so long. You're like, did that match up to what I just did?
Who knows? Maybe it's another dimension. All right, continuing on. Nothing has really happened at my dad's house, mainly just my stepsisters being dicks when we were younger. Maybe it's a good time to mention I'm an only child who lives with my mom and grandparents. Anyways, my dad lives out in the middle of nowhere, which means my main fears are spiders, wild animals that could tear me apart, and just murders out in the woods.
Those are solid rational fears.
Solid fears. Strangers being murdered out in the woods, yeah, I think that creeps me out a whole lot. I would never want to live in a place that's so rural that no one could hear you screaming.
I can't say that word without sounding crazy.
Rural?
Rural.
What?
It just doesn't sound right to me. It just sounds like I'm gargling.
So, the first story in the dad's house. So, as a child, I was really skittish and hated scary things. So, my stepsisters thought it was a good idea to scare the shit out of me. Just creepy stories and stuff, but not many other things. Anyways, my step-grandparents always had a Halloween thing and a haunted hayride, and not my fondest memories. I think that's cool though. Haunted hayride.
Haunted hayride is pretty fun.
10 out of 10
but the thing about haunted hayride is like a haunted house. Like there are gonna be employees who don't care because they've been standing out in the middle.
Bring a Nerf gun.
It's October. They've been standing out on this long ass trail in the middle of the woods, typically by themselves for a long time. And like I remember there was like I've mentioned this on the show before. I took a haunted hayride out in like Podunk, Indiana, and like we're going along and people are just like popping out like rawr. Like halfway through there's like a skeleton. It's a guy wearing a skeleton costume with his mask up, smoking a cigarette, just standing there. And like we rode past me,
Ruined your experience?
Boo. We just kept going. It was hilarious. But it's like that guy's not really. He's breaking character, and I don't appreciate this right now. He cannot work at medieval times.
I really want to go to medieval times.
That's all she's talking
Who
about.
wants to sponsor us to go to medieval times? 10 out of 10. All right. So I got so scared at their house one night. The 2 bedrooms in the back of their house make me feel sick, and I threw up. My dad's house, I disliked my half-sister's room, which was my old room. Both my stepsister's rooms, the girls' bathroom, by girls I mean my stepsisters and my bathroom, and my closet. So it's safe to say I normally sleep in my dad's den, but I'm scared of waking up and seeing a face in the windows. Totally understandable fear. They don't close the blinds. What?
That's craziness.
What sick people don't close the blinds? What do you want, people to stalk you and stuff?
Yeah, dude, like every time we watch a show and like someone's
like 13 Reasons Why when
yeah,
the girls
like,
are making out in front of an open window. Come on.
I kept yelling during that show and other shows like, why does everyone do this shit in front of an open fucking window, man? Like have the common decency to close the blinds and shut the shades. Holy shit.
Which I don't get up to close due to fear my stepmom will get pissed. Sounds like your stepside sucks.
Stepside. Step monsters.
Second story from the dad's house. This one isn't that creepy, but once we were playing hide and seek and I got myself stuck in a cabinet in my step-grandparents' bathroom. Not a fun time. In asterisks it says, this isn't about stepsisters, but I remember some kids shoving me in a bathroom and forcing me to play Bloody Mary and wouldn't let me out. So I just sat down and cried because I couldn't find the light in the bathroom and didn't know what else to do.
Aww.
I'm so glad my mom came to look for me. Those are horrible kids.
Yeah, they straight up are.
Horrible kids. So, third story, my grandmother's house on my dad's side is across from the dad's house, and her room and her guest room always creep me out. I was sleeping in the guest room one night and had a dream about an 18-wheeler in her driveway. When we went to look in the back of the truck, the shipping crate, truck/shipping crate, we found a dead body. The dream was black and white except for the red rose laying on the dead body. What the fuck? I've never had a dream like that. It's just crazy. Like, I can't imagine seeing that in a dream and not freaking out. You know what I mean?
Just crazy, creepy stuff?
Yeah.
You say that until you, like, start having them, and then you'll be like, something's wrong with me.
Yeah, I'll probably freak out.
Yes,
I will never sleep again.
You will. She was on the opposite side, as far away from me as she possibly could be the other day when I woke up, which means she had a bad dream where I did something mean.
No. He was a dick before bed.
Or I did something mean. That's totally not true. Or I did something mean, and I asked her, like, did you have a bad dream? And she told me yes. And it's funny because you're saying, like, I can't imagine having a dream like that. What did you dream that I did?
I don't even know what day you're talking about.
She told me she dreamt that I slashed her face up.
Oh, yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, and my face was, like, peeling off. It was all, like, fucked up. Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird dream.
Because I was a quote-unquote dick before bed, which means I was like...
Oh, that was the one last night.
Which means that I basically said, like, hey, since you take up 90% of the bed, can I get 85? Because I can't even lay down right now. And she's like...
That's bullshit.
And then she probably just scooched all the way to the other side.
Bullshit.
Out of revenge.
Anyway.
It's totally true.
No, it's not.
Totally
No, it's not. No, it's not. Anyway, we also have 2 other houses on my dad's road where other family members used to live. That are still abandoned. One of them had candles in them. One day, after leaving one of the houses, we turned back and saw the candles lit. Now they're plug-in candles, so they're not like fire candles. And neither of us had plugged them in, so we just ran back to my dad's house. The other house at the
Start that whole thing over.
At the other house, we found a wheelchair full of hats stacked in it. In one of the back rooms. We were looking in the back window since my dad was the only one with a key. So my friend came up to my dad's house one school break with me and the chair was gone. I've got no clue what happened to it and I'm not sure if I want to. That's crazy. People have to come in there and steal stuff sometimes.
Yeah, that's where my head immediately goes.
Yeah, so who knows? But that's the end of this particular email. We'll read the rest on the next episode probably for your whole list of stories. So thank you, Rebecca, for these. Yeah,
thank you for sending that in.
Stories.
We appreciate it. There's a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff to unpack.
Of stuff.
I got to say though, like, I cannot stand the concept of having a step family that just treats you like shit because it's almost like preemptive. Like, I have a stepsister or stepbrother or stepmother or step whatever, and they're like, we're gonna be dicks just because if we don't do it, someone else will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, or you can just try getting along. I know a lot of people that have step families that are like, they just straight up don't even tell you they're their step family. They're just their family. And then at some point they're like, oh, well, we have a different dad, or we have a different mom. And it's like, oh, well, that's kind of awesome. Well, I guess that's half brother. But like, you know what I'm getting at. Like, people are just like, oh, like, we're not actually related type of thing.
Right.
So just be nice to people, man. It's really sincerely not that hard. Except if people are just assholes to you, it's much harder to be nice back. But
it's hard to think of the fact that there are probably people living out there like Cinderella where this woman or person, man, woman, whatever, whoever comes into your life and is like, do my bidding, bitch, and treats you like shit, and their kids become like the golden children and you just get shoved to the corner. And it's real. That happens to people all the time.
Every time I think of Cinderella, I think of that meme where the prince is like, no, you can't go. And then the next cell is her like with her hand out like, first of all, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I love that shit. All right.
Cool.
Let's look at the stream chat, see what you wonderful folks had to say. There was a lot of chat going on during that story. I don't know if any of it related to the story, though.
Sorry, I scrolled past medieval times. I'm excited to get there. Hold on. Boop, boop, boop.
Harley says, I never eat soggy waffles. You're insane.
Captain Fake Guy said, I grew up with a lot of friends that were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they couldn't read Harry Potter.
Yep.
Which
Magic
IMO
stuff.
is the saddest thing about the religion.
I had some guy who used to shop my store when I worked at GameStop who was Jehovah's Witness. Super, super nice. And he'd always come in like, and I told him like I was familiar with the religion because he used to come in and be like, what can I get for me and my kids? And like I would try and find him stuff that wasn't super violent and didn't have any sort of like religious leanings or magic. And I sold him Injustice, and he was so happy. And then he came in because superheroes were something that he thought was okay for his kids. Then he came in, he's like, did you know there's a character in there called Solomon Grundy?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He's like, he's from the Bible. I was like, no, I totally fucking forgot that, bro. To me, he's just a DC character. And he's like, yep. And he started telling me the whole thing. I was like, I know. I am so sorry. It was brand new, too. I was like, I'll take it back. We're not supposed to. I apologize. He's like, sucks, too, because that game is so fun. Like, I called to try and find out if there's, like, a way to disable characters. And he had so much fun with it. I felt so bad about it. But, yeah, they're serious about it. They're like, this is something we can't expose ourselves or our
Harry
family
Potter,
to.
and that's just such a sad thing. I bet they can't even watch Lord of the Rings or anything like that.
I don't think so.
Oh, my goodness.
But again, it's like some people that are, like, full-blown practicing, and some people are like, yes, this is my religion, also I do all the things I'm not supposed to, you know. So it's just it depends on the person.
Laura Ann says, I think not celebrating your birthday is the saddest thing. I think that's really sad too.
Britt Newt says wombology, the study of wumbo. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like something you guys would know.
Wombology, yeah, it's SpongeBob. You gotta watch it, man, you're missing out.
Akbar says if you do news instead of NESW, you can do never eat weird seeds, which isn't bad.
All right. I can't change it though. I'm gonna get really confused.
Yeah, because it's super important for you to remember it.
Let's see. Captain Fake Guy said, yeah, birthdays are sad. The other thing I found out is they can't accept any blood products or anything from anyone else's body.
Yeah, that's like the super strict version of it. It's
so they
like
would die in a car accident.
A lot of like medication and treatments are not like acceptable.
That's
like,
horrifying.
It is. It's scary stuff because it's like what if you needed blood transfusion?
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you is that what it's called when no it's not blood transfusion when you have to like oh my god, when they have to filter your blood and put it back into you.
Dialysis?
Yes. Does that work?
It's funny too because there's an episode I think of House where there's a Jewish guy who can't have it done, and they use a specific type of animal in the episode that makes it kosher. I can't remember exactly which. I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode. Where
Let's
it's
just
like,
watch the whole series. I love that show.
They instead of using like the machine or something about the process, they wind up using like an animal where they're like, oh, we can actually do it this way, and they're like, good, because otherwise you're gonna die.
That's
so
crazy.
Rather than like argue the religious aspect of it, they're like, what if we just tried it a different way? So, Jesus and Nitzy says, love the headband, Robin. Hearts in the eyes,
Thank
smiley
you.
face.
Hufflepuff. The Snark says there was an episode on Grays about that kind of stuff.
It might have been Grace.
Graciela
says, my family is really Catholic and they don't like talking about the paranormal because they think if you do, you're being tricked by the devil. So they sort of like believe in it, but it's also not.
It's like taboo to talk about it because it's like calling it to you.
Yeah. I think that's super common.
That's understandable.
Akbar says, mussies like me tend to believe in witchcraft, and for paranormal-ish beings, we mostly have jinn. Jinn are like super ancient.
Laura Ann's laughing at you calling me a human. That's just sketch. It's 100% true.
It's true. Twitch Grim says, Jehovah's Witnesses do not like Halloween. Too many people knocking on the door. They sincerely don't like Halloween, though.
The Snark says, Skeleton Guy is my favorite from your...
Oh, yeah. Boo. Fuck you.
Captain Fake Guy says, I want to go to medieval times, too. I've never been. You've never been to medieval times? That was our... Okay, I'm from Texas. We didn't go to Disneyland or Disney World for our senior trip. Our senior trip was to go to medieval times. And
shout out to Jake 442233 who just subscribed.
Thank you so much.
Using a Twitch Prime account. That's straight up money from your pocket.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Jake.
If you haven't connected your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account, you can go ahead and
spend
do that.
Jeff Bezos' money instead.
All right, and let's see. The Snark says medieval times meet up. I got hookups. Holy shit! If you have hookups,
if you have hookups, let's do this shit.
We'll go right now.
Akbar says when I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm happy because I have
My sister's like, yeah, let's go.
Akbar says, when I wake up at 3 a.m., I'm happy because I have to pray around 4 a.m. That's nice.
Oh, wow.
It's like waking up just a little bit early. Graciela says, oh my God, I miss living with my brother because I love standing in front of the bathroom door super close, so he freaks out when he was leaving the bathroom. You're a dick. Like, appreciate you listening, but as a person who's been freaked out by that, it's a dick move. Cat Beatrix says, that reminds me of a funny sleepwalking story my best friend had. Her roommate had a clear view of the bathroom in the hall from his bed from across the bedroom. They have a nightlight in the bathroom. One time, he woke up to a figure backlit by the nightlight. It was our friend standing and staring in his direction.
Why would they do that?
That's so funny.
Miranda,
it's like when Liz was in the doorway of your bedroom when you were reaching down to get your bunny rabbit or whatever.
God.
And you were like terrified of it.
Liz laughs so hard at that story because she's just like, it's me. It was scary. Okay.
Cat Beatrix finished. She stood there for maybe 3 to 5 seconds. And in parentheses, in my mind, it's like 15 seconds or longer. then reached in his room and pulled the door closed, but totally not shut, probably leaving them absolutely terrified, which is hilarious.
Miranda says, add me to the Medieval Times group. And I always say to close your curtains, people.
Seriously, no one does that shit. Unless you're like doing it on purpose.
Carly says, my cats are constantly opening the curtains and it drives me absolutely crazy.
Funny.
I'm forever closing curtains. Our curtains are never open.
That's not true. Sometimes they're
well,
open.
even if they're open, in our bedrooms at least, the blinds are closed.
It's hot in Las Vegas, folks. Kat Beatrix says, when she moved in with me and my then boyfriend, I promised her, as her best friend, I would punch her if she pulled any paranormal activity shit. That's hilarious.
Captain Fake Eye says, meet up in Buena Park, because that's where Medieval Times is, closest to us. The Snark says, oh, I know someone there too.
Uh-oh.
And then
this might be a thing.
Tian Lung says, I know someone who could get discounted Medieval Times tickets. Holy shit, hook it up. Let's do this.
Graciela says, I shared a bed with my 14-year-old sister and had a mini higher terror. I woke up super freaked out and she was staring at me with her eyes super wide and asked if I was okay. I said, yeah, a little shakily, and went to sleep. The next morning, she told our family the story and she was like, you didn't tell me what to do. Apparently, my other sister was comforting her after I went back to sleep. In parentheses, she was in the top bunk and we were on the bottom. I don't know if my baby sister will ever want to sleep next to me again. It's hilarious.
Tianyong says, the irony of Jehovah's Witnesses not liking people to knock on their doors.
It's the dressing up part they don't like. It's like, if people didn't dress up as stuff that they think you shouldn't dress up as, it would be the best holiday ever because you're coming to their home where they can be like, oh yeah, come on in, sugar. Let's talk. I don't know why I just went Southern all of a sudden. If you say come on in, I think it should be followed up with sugar. That's why. But yeah, it's just like...
Oh, honey, honey.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know what she's quoting.
Anyway,
whatever. I never know what she's quoting
anymore. Let's see.
Akbar says, Medieval Times sounds amazing. We don't have anything of the sort out here. That stinks.
The Snark says, do Jehovah's Witnesses not have dogs that freak out when they knock on the door?
That's
Our
funny.
dogs freak out. There's no way they don't. Yes, let's do a Medieval Times meetup. We'll take a whole color section and just root for our knight, and it'll be great. Can we request the Black Knight?
There's not always a Black Knight. A lot of times they're multicolored nowadays.
What?
So
like
we had
orange, red, green,
we had
blue?
the Hufflepuff Knight. He was yellow and black. He won.
Okay.
And there's like checkered red and white. There was red. I was like, this is stupid. But I was also really drunk and screaming a lot. So
I really want to do this. Let's you guys schedule it, plan it, and let us know.
You guys handle everything for us.
And then we'll just show up.
And we'll show up and go. Robin truly
really
showing
fun.
how big of a dick she truly
No,
is.
but I just, because everyone else is the ones with the hookups, we're just going to be like, let's hop on this train.
Include us in the conversation
Yes.
so we can all coordinate because we do have multiple weddings to attend within the next like 45 days, which are going to require flights. So
Well, it's
we
in
don't-
Buena Park.
I get that. I'm saying we can't be in Buena Park and Chicago at the exact same
yes,
time.
I see what you're saying.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move, or unless you have a bunch more.
No, I'm good. I'm just excited about Medieval Times.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move into my last one of the episode, and it's also long. It starts out like this. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello. To know if you guys still only read the beginning and end of emails before reading on air, since I'm only on episode 12, but if that's still the case, you can totally share this story. I apologize. It's going to be long. Don't apologize. It's totally cool. My name is Tyler, and I have just started the podcast, in parentheses, found you on Spotify, shout out to Spotify, about 2 weeks ago, and I'm in love. Seriously,
Aww.
you guys rock. I'm telling everyone I can about the podcast, so if there is a recent influx of listeners, you're welcome. I'll have to check the numbers and see if there was an influx around this time, because thank you. We sincerely appreciate that. Anywho, enough about how much I love you guys and how I'm single-handedly bringing up your listener count. I have crazy anxiety, and I overthink everything. Hence, I went back and forth about 2 days deciding which story I want to send in for my first submission. I decided to go with one that has some photographic evidence to back my story. I will have to bring up the photographs after I read this, so if you reference them in the story, then we might have to take a little pause. We'll see what happens with it. It'll be edited wonderfully for our listening audience, for our viewing audience. There'll just be a little bit of vamping. It goes on to say, so a wee bit of backstory before I get into the meat and potatoes of the story. Growing up, my brother and sister and I were super into ghosts and the paranormal and all that shit. We spent most of our summers going to Arizona to spend time at my grandparents' house. In parentheses, I live in Southern California. When in Arizona, our cousins and us would continue our ghost hunting ways, and we had so many experiences at my grandparents' house. Seriously, their house was all kinds of fucking haunted. To top it off, my grandma loved to feed into our hobby and would tell us about things she saw in the house when we were little.
That's like both lucky and frightening at the same time.
It's awesome is what it is. She was also a humongous troll and used our fear that built up from actually seeing and experiencing stuff to scare the bejesus out of us whenever she could.
That's evil.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to be that kind of grandparent.
So you want to be the grandparent that takes your pants off whenever you feel like it and scare your kids whenever you feel like it?
Separately. I don't want those two things to coincide, but yes. I respect the shit out of your grandfather because he travels to, like you said, like events at other people's homes.
He has no shame. It's great.
When he gets there, he just takes his pants off like it's his house. That's a fucking power move. That is big dick energy, people. That is awesome, and I want to do that shit. Just show up and be like, hey, my pants are coming off. My boxers have a button on them. Deal with it. It's like, that is awesome. All right. Goes on to say, okay, so fast forward to the closer. Let's just retake that. So fast forward to closer to present day. In 2015, my older brother passed away after struggling with alcoholism and depression. That's very sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
When he was alive, we would always talk about paranormal things and were always looking for old buildings and haunts in our area to check out and explore. On numerous occasions, he has mentioned that if he were to ever die before his time, he wanted to come back and, quote, haunt the fuck out of us. Cool, right? Anywho, he passed away in January of 2015. I got divorced in November of the same year and moved back to my parents' home. This was the home he lived in his entire life and was where he died. To make my life so much fun, in parentheses sarcasm, the only free room was my brother's old room.
Oh.
Almost immediately after moving in, I felt a presence in the room sometimes. My son, who was 4 at the time and is now almost 7, I think my math is right on that, would spend every other weekend with me as part of the custody agreement. I have stories about my son saying he would see and hear things about my brother, but that is for another time. Wow, that is super intense.
Yeah. But that happens a lot with kids.
Yeah.
And they talk about, sometimes they talk about family members they've never met before.
Yeah, they describe them perfectly.
And
that's
what
super
happened
creepy.
to them, that's the creepy part.
Yeah.
Like, we had a story where their kid was saying, I have to buckle them in because they don't like it if we don't wear our seatbelts or something like that because they died in a car crash or something. It's just so intense when kids have stories like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's not what we're going to get now. We're going to get that later. So these are the stories they chose to tell us first, so they must be better or just good. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just excited. All right, it continues.
Are you thinking about medieval times?
No, I'm not. Not at all. It goes on to say, fuck, sorry, I'm rambling. Focus, man. Okay.
Are you saying that about us?
Because you're rambling about medieval times? Because in the break between stories, which none of the listeners will understand, Robin's planning this medieval times meetup that is just like a fantasy right now, but if it takes off, we'll definitely let all of you know.
All right,
getting back to this story. Okay, so this story takes place in our laundry room, actually. I went on a tangent about moving into his old room. Sorry. Even before my brother passed away, the laundry room always felt creepy. It's right off the kitchen, and it's a part of a new addition that was added to the house, so it's not like it's a basement or anything that is typically creepy. In parentheses, you're welcome, Robin.
Thanks.
But anytime I would go in there, I would always feel like there was something there. I would always get chills whenever I would turn my back to throw laundry in the wash. I'm not afraid of the dark, but to this day, I always turn the lights on in the room whenever I'm in there. My ex-girlfriend used to live with me, and she was terrified of that room. She would only do laundry in the middle of the day and refused to go to the room at night. When she would step foot in the room, she would say she felt a very heavy presence of an old man. She said the feeling was not happy, and she was always walking out of there shaking. Personally, I never felt a male presence or anything of the sort. I always just felt something was right behind me, following me into the room. Now to the nitty-gritty. One night, we were getting ready for bed, and we heard the rather distinct sound of the washing machine's lid close. You know the sound, kind of like a dull metallic thud. I think everyone just hears that in their head as soon as you said that.
I'm listening to that sound over and over again in my head.
We were both in bed and looked at each other, and I said that it was probably my sister. We had 2 dogs, and they both jumped up and started to walk around the room. I forgot to mention that when my ex-girlfriend moved in, we moved to the upstairs bedroom, which, you guessed it, is directly above the laundry room.
Oh my goodness.
Nice, huh? Tangent. Sorry. Okay, so me being the stupid person I am, I say I'm going to make sure it's my sister or maybe my parents. My parents live in Arizona at my grandparents' old house, but we're visiting during this week. I walk downstairs and look into the laundry room, and it's dark.
No.
I get a little closer and try to see as much as I can without getting too close, and you'll never guess what I saw.
What was it? Oh.
Nothing. Stop reading ahead.
Sorry.
Read your own emails, damn it. Nothing. No one in the room. Washer wasn't running, and I couldn't hear anything. So I breathed a sigh of relief before realizing that I'm a colossal dumbass. If a person was doing laundry, I would want someone to be in there. So I happily walked to my sister's room and knock on her door and ask if she was doing laundry. She says no, and that she was getting ready for bed. She says she didn't hear anything coming from the laundry room either. I walk down the creepiest hallway in my house to my parents' room, but I can tell by the snores coming from the room that they are fast asleep. I think nothing of it and go back to my room, where I am promptly scolded for taking forever downstairs and leaving my poor defenseless girlfriend upstairs by herself. In parentheses, she had the fucking dogs, by the way. She wasn't defenseless, but I digress. I like that you tossed that in there.
Well, it's like she should be a self-reliant.
You're just going to quote the stuff that I said earlier because you asked me to carry your coffee because you didn't want to use your hands?
My hands were full. I had a sandwich and I had my
You were
drink.
sitting at the table eating your sandwich, drinking your drink. You had 10 minutes before the show. I was like, you really need me to carry this for you. See, it's just the shit we deal with. I get you, person that wrote this. All right. We get settled, and I swear, as soon as I turned off the light by the bed, we hear the washing machine lid close again. This time I said, nope, fuck that, and turned on music, and we went to sleep.
That's when you, masking tape that. They're duct tape the lid closed for the night.
Then you're going to hear thung. Okay, the next morning we got up, and my girlfriend leaves for work. I was closing at work this day, so I didn't go in until 1:30. I checked the laundry room, and the washing machine door is open, so I have no idea what we heard. I asked my parents if they heard anything, and they said they did not. My sister leaves for work at about 9, and my parents leave to go on a Costco run at 12:30, and I leave for work. I got a text message from my mom about 3 hours later asking if I was playing a practical joke on the family. I ask what she is talking about, and she says there are chairs from the dining room table stacked up in the laundry room.
That's some poltergeist bullshit.
I tell her that I left literally 5 minutes after she did, and that as much as I love practical jokes, I wouldn't take the time to stack chairs. She says, okay, well, they aren't neatly stacked, and sent me a picture. I'll attach that photo at the end of the email, as I tried to embed it, and it fucked up the whole email. It freaks me out seeing the chairs like that, and I tell her to be careful taking them apart. Your mouth is open. You made the clicking noise.
It's poltergeist. I'm sorry. That's just so frightening. When chairs just stack up on their own and all that crap happens. No.
Should I take a break right now so that we can look at these pictures? Or do you want to wait till the end of the email?
I want to see it.
All right, we're going to take a second.
I have to see it. It's just it's so scary.
So we get to see these. You guys don't. That sucks. I can probably figure out a way to show them to you.
Post them on Instagram, right?
Well, no. We never post for Storytime episodes.
Oh, that's right.
All right, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at these. We're going to be like, oh, my God, it's so scary. And then once we're done with the email and we go to talk to you guys, Robin's going to read the Twitch stuff first while I try and figure out a way to show you this picture.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to look at it right now, though. But I need to find the original, not the edited one, because the OG should have the pictures in it. So
I have It's a Small World in my head.
I'm glad you shared that.
My bad.
It's just black. There it is.
What?
So just one chair. It's
That's
literally
a huge laundry room.
It's just, yeah, it is. It's just one chair. Holy fuck, I could live in that laundry room. It is one chair with a chair stacked directly into it. So they're not like stacked
but
like
they're not
perfectly.
nicely stacked.
Yeah.
They don't belong
If
together.
no one was there, it would definitely be freaky shit. So, okay, cool. Now we know what we're looking at. We'll share it with you folks once we're done reading this one.
That takes effort to stack that way too.
I mean, it takes effort to move the chairs. All right, where was I? Let's find this stuff. One sec, folks. Marking that. We're getting back to it. All right. Fast forward to when I got home, and the house felt different. My parents had already gone to bed, but my sister and girlfriend both say that my parents were freaked out and are going to leave to go back to Arizona the next day. They both asked if I did it, and I swore to them that I didn't.
That's messed up.
My girlfriend said the dogs were freaking out when she got home from work, and they would not go near the laundry room. I walked into the laundry room, proving that humans are stupid fucking creatures, and immediately got super cold. I got goosebumps and chills as soon as I crossed the threshold into the room. I freaked out and walked back out of the room. My sister was back in her room, and my girlfriend ran upstairs after I told her that I got super cold. I walk back towards the room and say our loud, okay, very good. If this is, in parentheses, my brother's name, well played, dude. We get it. Now cut that shit out. You're scaring mom and dad. That's amazing. Everything is cool. Everything was cool for a few days until Saturday.
Oh, no.
I was upstairs having just gotten out of the shower when I heard my girlfriend scream from downstairs. I ran downstairs wearing only my boxers and a t-shirt. Proper burglar fighting apparel, if you ask me. I fly down the stairs and my girlfriend runs to meet me in the dining room, crying and pointing to the laundry room. I got a little leery at this point and walked into the room. I immediately felt cold again and the feeling that someone was right behind me.
What?
I turned to see if it was my girlfriend, but she was sitting at the dining room table. The cabinet above the washing machine was open and two of the detergent jugs were turned upside down. It was freaky as fuck, and of course, being the genius I am, I reached out to touch the bottles. In parentheses, have I mentioned how smart I am yet? I turn one jug right side up, but the second feels heavy as shit. I'm a big guy and pretty strong, but I swear on my son that I could not lift this fucking jug of detergent. That's a really common thing that I've heard people tell me in ghost stories was like, there was something that they couldn't do. Like I couldn't open a refrigerator, or I couldn't get a door open, or I couldn't lift something that's supposed to be super light. Almost like someone's like holding it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, bro. Like you can't see me, but I'm doing this to you. I tried with two hands and nothing. I said fuck it and decided to leave it exactly how it was and go to close the cabinet with the fucking jug, tips and falls out of the goddamn cabinet.
Wow.
As Adam so eloquently and frequently puts it, I noped the fuck out of there ASAP. I ran and got some sage, in parentheses, never let it be said that we aren't prepared for these things, and began to burn the sage and smudge the shit out of the room. I'm shocked you guys didn't do that after the chair stacking incident.
Well, like maybe they didn't actually think it was anything too bad until this thing where he was like, I should have been able to move it. I couldn't move it.
Also, maybe it's the fact that he might have thought it was his brother. So it's like you don't want to smudge your brother out of your house if they're just playing a practical joke on you.
Yeah.
So that's a rough one. Since that day, my best friend and I have done some EVPs and stuff in the laundry room. What are the odds? I just covered EVPs. But I have never felt that coldness or bad energy in the room. My ex-girlfriend would still feel negative energy in that room, and to the day she moved out after we broke up, would only do laundry during the day with the lights on. I hope my story was intriguing, and like I said at the beginning of this, admittedly long, I have so many stories from my house, in parentheses, I still live here, and from my grandparents' house, as well as some of our ghost hunting adventures. If you guys are interested, we absolutely are. Please, please, please send them. Side note on the photos attached, we had two different dining room tables, one formal and one regular, hence the two different types of chairs. I checked around to see if there were scuff marks on the ground where the chairs might have been dragged, but I couldn't see anything. Also, the worst part of this story, other than being creepy as fuck, is our poor doggos were home alone while everyone was gone, and I can only imagine how freaked out they were seeing this shit. They got lots of pats and treats and snuggles after we went to bed, I promise. Thanks for listening or reading. I can and will send more stories if you guys are interested. Keep being amazing. Sincerely, your friend in spookiness, Tyler.
Thank you so much.
That was excellent, Tyler.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sending that in.
I can't believe you had to go through so many different weird things.
Yeah.
I would have pooped my pants.
So now we're going to take a look at that second photograph and see what it looks like. This is of the jugs turned upside down. They're like exactly upside down, balanced perfectly. So yeah, that is weird. It's not like the most paranormal thing, but at the same time, it's definitely something out of place, and it would be like, why would someone do that?
You should be able to lift it up and put it back.
The lifting part is the weird part.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell wouldn't you be able to lift it? So, like, do you even lift, bro? So, good stuff. Thank you for sending that in. We appreciate it. All right, let's take a look over in the stream chat. Robin, go ahead and talk to folks while I try and figure out a way to show these pictures without destroying the stream.
All right, Laura Ann says, wish I could travel to California because, medieval times. One of these days, we'll all have a meetup somewhere where people can go to, or we'll just go to travel. We want to do a tour. It would be cool, but one day. That day is not today. Let's see. Captain Fake Eye says they're going to be in LA soon. That's why they would like to do the meetup while they're in town, because they're actually from Rhode Island.
Right on.
That'd be really neat. Let's see. Valley Grill. Oh, no. Captain Fake Guy says, did you see Taylor Swift's house? Valley Girl says, my family owns the house next to hers. What? My sister's face is just, Oh
That's
my
so
God.
funny.
Because that's absolutely incredible. She says she'll occasionally pop by our family jewelry store with her posse of security guards. She never talks, just points out what she wants, and they go get it for her. That is power.
Power.
Yeah. Just being like, and they just pick out whatever you want, you know? Like, you point at it, and they're just like, all right.
I think that's just being a customer at a place where you have a lot of money. I don't know.
No, but the
power.
security guard gets it for her. The security guards get it for her. She never has to say anything. How incredible is that? That'd be cool. I want that power. Anyway, Miss Deasy says, hi, that EVP episode made me uncomfortable. Good job, babe. Scaring
You're welcome.
people. We've had multiple people say it scared the bejesus out of them, so. Laura Ann says, love that episode. Need more EVPs. They're seriously trying to get to you about your expired warranty or extended warranty.
That's
or
so
whatever.
funny.
God, that was the silliest thing. Carly says, as much as I want to see the pictures, I gotta get some sleep. Night, spooky friends. Good night, Carly. Tianlung says, I wondered why burning sage is considered a cleansing of the room. As it turns out, sage has antimicrobial properties. One 2007 study found that burning sage for an hour decreased the level of aerial bacteria by 94%. These effects were preserved for up to 24 hours afterwards. Wow, what?
Some good research.
The Snark says, wow, T Swift ruse fuck. I'm sure she's just like, she's so famous. She really needs to keep to herself.
She's also very awkward.
I like that she walks backwards so paparazzi can't get her picture.
I mean, that's kind of a rumor. Like, even the guys that
There's
used to date
pictures.
her were just like, does she really do that?
There's
So,
pictures of her doing it, though.
Here's the deal, folks. I'm trying to do all the different types of capture, and everything is coming up 100% broken right now. Like, nothing will display, so just take our word for it. They're 2 stacked chairs and 2 upside-down bottles of laundry detergent.
Valley Grill says, I heard she hid in a suitcase once to keep from being bombarded. That's hilarious. All right.
Are you caught up?
Yep.
All right, well, I have to do all mine now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop trying to fudge that. And stop that. Stupid fudge and fudger. All right. Let's see if this breaks everything. Yep. Changed our input. So we're going to switch that back.
All
Yep.
right.
Everything's screwed up now. That's what I get for trying to switch stuff middle of the show. So we just turned into radio for a second there, but we're back. All right. What did you folks over on YouTube have to say? Let me just scroll up. I can post them on Instagram. They're not necessarily our pictures, so it's a little bit weird like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dark Lord Shadow Demon, solid name,
Thank
who
you
just
for
followed us
following
on Twitch. We appreciate you joining us from the other realm. All right. It took me all the way to the top, which is nice to see that it can go that high.
You're nice. I'm trying to make a pun. It's not working out.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well at all.
Captain Fake Eye says, I'd feel like I'd get sick of people too and do crazy things to avoid them.
Yeah.
But then again, I already do that and I'm not famous. It's funny.
Akbar says, Medieval Time sounds amazing. Okay, that is where I left off last time. Britt Newt says, went to a party with a lot of the knights from Medieval Times once. They know how to party. Also, you can get tickets on Groupon. Good call. Akbar says, ask the Wetters to move them all to one day. Vivian says, hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was playing Scrabble with my grandma. No worries, that actually sounds really fun. Graciela says, who won? And Vivian says, me by 1 point. 121 versus 122. Fuck yeah. It's pretty solid shit. Graciela says, no mercy for grandma. That's hilarious. Vivian says, yeah, my family is weird. Graciela had to leave. She said she's exhausted heading out. Good night. Thank you for joining us. You're probably already gone, but we appreciate you. Julia says, hearing stories like this makes me never want small humans. I would just cry and cover them in sage. That's hilarious. Glitch says, come to Texas and I'll Groupon that shit for Medieval Times. Vivian says, question of for the week. QOFTW. It's just question of the week. What is the best advice you've ever given and the worst advice you've ever received? It's interesting.
I couldn't tell you.
The best advice
Really?
I've ever given is to one of my friends who gets into stalker mode when he gets into breakups, when I said, leave her the fuck alone, so he didn't get a restraining order or go to jail. The worst advice I've ever received, and I'm going to get a little bit mean here. So when I graduated, I went to school, creative writing, learned all this shit with a fallback in technical writing, and I had so many people tell me, like, you should get into copywriting. And copywriting is
Oh.
neither technical writing nor creative writing. Copywriting is like writing ads and shit, like jingles, but more importantly, it's incredibly subjective because you always have someone telling you, I need you to write like a blurb about this product or something along those lines. And what always happens in copywriting is they tell you, this is what we want. You give them exactly what they want. Then they change what you wrote to something that's in like kind of their own words, then act like they did it themselves. And they always fucking say like, what do I even need you for? It's like, what did you need me for? Why didn't you just do it your fucking self? Oh, right, you couldn't. I got you the thing you needed. You changed a tiny bit and patted yourself on the back. I am not a fan of copywriting, and I swear to Christ, I had to listen to that shit every day when I looked for a job when I graduated from college. And then every time I spoke to any of those people when I got laid off from Tesla, you should get into copywriting. I wanted to smack someone. It's like when you watch The Graduate and everyone tells them, like, plastics. You got to get into plastics. That same shit. It's driving me fucking crazy. Worst advice. All right, I'm going to scroll and get to the rest of the stuff over here on YouTube. Nat Bauer says, hey guys. Everyone said, hi.
Hi.
Kat says, I don't trust my advice except maybe wear a helmet. LOL, not sure what the worst advice I've ever received is. Vivian says, things to remember if ever in a horror movie, it's never just the wind. When hiding from someone/something, watch where you're fucking going. And lastly, stick together. Whenever people split up, they die. Akbar had to take off. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Everyone said bye as well. Vivian says, I can't get the bejesus scared out of me. I was born with a bejesus deficiency. And Julia suggests we post the pictures on Instagram. We could. It'll be kind of weird without context. We could post it on Friday and be like, hey, like, Storytime episode came out. Here's one of the stories, like, accompanying pictures for those who would like to see it. So, cool. That's everything I had over on YouTube. You said you were caught up, correct?
Yep.
All right. So, transition us to the last email of the night.
Final email of the night. This one's subject says, Happy Haunted Household Part 2. Do we have a Part 1?
I'm sure we did.
Okay.
Is it from Anna or Anna?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So this one is Frank and Other Noises. So it begins. Hi, all. Hi. Adam's drinking coffee. Are you ready for the next installment from the Happy Haunted Household? No? Well, too bad. Hopefully that was accurate. Probably not.
Sorry, I'm dealing with stuff over on YouTube.
Oh,
Or
I already
Twitch.
handled it.
Oh, you handled it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Some refresher information on my home is that it was built in Chicago in 1905. I've lived in it my entire life, and it is haunted as heck. The next set of stories I wanted to share with you is about Frank, the older gentleman ghost in my house who prefers to be heard rather than seen. We don't actually know his real name, but as a child, I decided that his name was Frank, and it kind of stuck. The first experience my family had with Frank happened about 3 years before I was born. My older sister was a newborn at the time, and my mother was carrying her in her arms as she went down the stairs. When she reached the landing between floors, my mother heard a man say, "Oh, excuse me." She says that it sounded like an older gentleman and sounded close, as if they were passing each other on the stairs. Needless to say, my mom booked it down the rest of the stairs. At the bottom, she turned around and said, "You can stay here, you can live here, but don't talk to me and don't touch me."
Wow.
And from that time, Frank never bothered her again. However, Frank seemed to have no problem talking to anyone else, especially me. Countless times as I grew up, I would hear a male voice call my name, Anna, or is it Anna?
It's Anna.
Anna, okay. From the first floor while I was in my room. Thinking my dad wanted something, I would go to the top of the stairs and call down asking what he wanted, but he would never respond. Often, I would get frustrated and return to my room, only to hear the voice calling my name again. Every single time this would happen, it would be the case that my dad wasn't even home. He worked in downtown Chicago at the time, at least 30 minutes by train. I wasn't the only one to hear this phenomenon. One time, I was hanging out with my mom in her bedroom and we both heard it. There would be instances where neither my dad nor I would be home and it could be heard. Even my best friend growing up heard it when we were playing over at my house. Needless to say, we began playing more at her house than mine after that. Frank isn't the only one to have talked to people, nor has my dad's voice been the only one mimicked. Sometimes my sister and I have heard my mother's voice coming from a different room only to discover that she was in a completely different part of the house, and every so often the voices will call for someone else. Just a few weeks ago, Wednesday, May 8th to be precise, my grandmother, who was a skeptic before moving in with us, swears that she woke up late at night to hear me quietly calling her from outside her bedroom door.
That's so creepy.
She must have just freaked out because it's her granddaughter, right? And it's outside her bedroom door, and it's just someone quietly calling them.
How do you know that's not your granddaughter is my question. Like, how would you not get up and be like, oh, what do you need? You know what I mean?
I think she must have checked or something, and figured, like, once you check there's no one there, then you're like, well, shit, what's going on? Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. Otherwise, the instances when voices have called out our names have been much less common than when I was a child. As in any haunted house, there are other noises that can be heard practically all the time, such as creaks from the stairs, disembodied footsteps, whispered conversations coming from an empty hallway in the middle of the night, and something with small feet running back and forth across the empty attic. No. No way. You know, the usual. There are 2 small stories I want to share with you about the noises in my house. After my paternal grandfather passed away, we were cleaning out his house and I took my grandmother's crafting desk. The night I set it up in my room, I was awoken to the sound of something trying to open the drawers. As I normally do when ghostly things happen in my house, I told whatever it was to quit it and try to go back to sleep. But this time, it didn't work. Isn't it bad to talk to them anyway?
I mean,
you give them being?
You kind of give them, like, acknowledgments. So if someone was like, you can live here, just never fucking talk to me anymore, then it's going to go looking for other people to, like, mess with. Like, I mentioned it before. Like, I was told, like, if you ever see a ghost, don't ever talk to it, don't ever acknowledge it unless you're going to tell it to leave.
Okay.
So
I kept hearing something pulling on the drawers and the items I placed on top of the desk shifting around. I even turned on the bedroom light and verified that there was nothing there, but the noises still continued. As I watched the desk, I heard its cabinet door squeak as if something was trying to open it. The noises didn't stop for about an hour. I will say this, I was freaked out and a little scared. But later, I was able to rationalize that the ghost, possibly the little girl Elizabeth, was just trying to check out the new big item in my room. They must have been satisfied because the desk never made another noise after that night. The next experience happened to my mom. She was home alone one night when my sister and I were at college, and my father was on a retreat. She said that it was one of the most active nights in the house that she had experienced in a long time. Before she went to bed, she said out loud, "I'm home alone and I need to go to work in the morning. The noises are creeping me out. Could you please be quiet?" My mom says that the house fell silent after that. Unnaturally silent for the house. No creaks.
that's creepy.
No settling.
Do you think the ghost casted spells where they're like, everyone keep it down, Jesus Christ?
Maybe. She's like, she has to work in the morning. I think that's frightening. Like silence. Today.
Too much silence when you know there should be some noise.
Right.
Is just
Today in the
creepy.
office, it was so quiet. At work, it was just silent. And it was really disconcerting. I had to put something on to watch. The next morning, before she closed the door on her way to work, my mom turned back to the house and said, "Thank you." Immediately, there were 3 loud bangs, each coming from a different part of the house. My mom said, "It was as if they had been waiting for me to leave so they could make noise again. So even though the ghosts in my house can be noisy buttholes sometimes, they are also very considerate. Thank you for reading my next set of stories about my haunted house. I'm still deciding on what to share with you next, but there will be more coming. Love to all from the Happy Haunted Household, Anna." Thank you so much for sharing your stories. That's such a crazy place to live in.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. It's kind of cool that you've kind of gotten used to it, but still,
Right,
like, I don't know how I don't know how I would deal with that. I want to give a quick shout out to NATYJI. Not sure exactly how to say it. Natty G sounds about right. They subscribed when we were not on the air for the first month. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was a solid story, man. I don't know what it would be like to live in a haunted house that wasn't like super haunted, just sort of haunted or haunted-ish, where you just sort of get on with your day-to-day life. I really do think it's hilarious where it's like, thanks everyone for being quiet. And like as soon as you leave, they're like, yeah, let's bang these pots and pans together.
Yeah.
Fucking sweet. So they were just keeping their Swayze quiet all night until they could
Swayze?
finally let it go. That's what I call it when ghosts like make noise or interact with anything.
Well, all right.
They're using their Swayze powers.
Cool.
Watch Ghost. It's a documentary. It's amazing.
Okay.
So good stuff. All right. So let's look over in Stream Chat, see what you folks had to say for the last story, and then move over into Marbles on Stream. For those of you who are in YouTube, switch over to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast if you would like to join in the race. It's about to happen. It's about to go down. We're about to yell timber. I'm going to start out with my YouTube stuff, and then Robin is going to take over and go from there. Scrolling up. Liz, are you a mod or an admin, I should say? You don't have admin powers? This person is just in here like spamming this shit.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess they clicked on. I must look like a dude today, so
you just have to just block their account so that they can't come back because they're using the same account. It looks like. Are we just deleting the message or how are we handling it?
You can time someone out on.
You can ban
Twitch.
them also, which is what I'm saying.
Oh, the snark just banned them. It's fine.
Thank you very much.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna give it any credence. Whatever. Moving on. That's all I have, really.
Vivian over there in YouTube says, Frank the Ghost sounds so polite. Some living human beings, yes, human beings, should take notes. And they go on to say, oh my god, I am so happy. My best friend just texted me saying she's changing her pronouns from her to they/them. And she said, I'm the first person that they told. That's pretty awesome. Shout out to your friend. Everyone over there says, that's great. And by everyone, I mean Cat Beatrix says, that's great. Vivian says, I just told them that I will support them no matter what. And their reaction was so cute. Spelled CYOOT. Akbar says, I came back in time. Woo! Thank you for joining us. Way to step out and come back. Glitch says, I was coming, LOL, the one day I'm not on Twitch. I know, right? Like the one freaking day. So, It's the Orange Tree says, you look super pretty, Robin. You always look super pretty.
No,
People are just fucking trolls, dude. That's
so
just all it comes down to.
I had a rough start to the morning because my car wouldn't start and I had to get to work. So I had to my sister had to leave her work to come get me. And so I was able to take her car to work for the day. And that's why she's in the office with us, because I picked her up at work. And by the time we got back, I didn't have time to put on makeup or put on any other clothes other than junk. And my hair is a mess and everything. I just didn't.
You don't owe anyone a fucking explanation, okay? Robin had a day because she's a human being, goddammit, and she looks good. So fuck whoever says anything like that, and we're not supposed to give them credence, but it's rude. Just insta-ban people who talk shit. If you're a mod, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Just saying. Like, that's just rude as shit. Fuck them. It was funny, too, because we were discussing how much titty should be shown. I'm just saying, like, if it was more titty, that person would have come in here and talked shit about me. So that's just how people are.
All right. Anyway, moving on. You got any other things?
No, I'm getting marbles on stream ready.
Thank you, everyone, for being so supportive. By the way, you guys are awesome, and we are very happy to have such inclusive, a great community. You guys are great.
Over on YouTube for whoever is an admin over in YouTube. Go for it.
The Snark says, Adam, when did Tifa join the stream?
Tifa? I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, y'all, so I was hoping that you would clarify that for me when I said what.
I have no idea. I don't see a Tifa.
No, I think they're referencing a character named Tifa from Final Fantasy. So, Snark, you're going to have to go ahead and explain that. So.
Oh, no. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, haha, thank you. Not really. I'm just wearing the Xbox hoodie that I haven't worn yet, but it's just gigantic and yeah.
There. They have been banned over there too.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm reading another thing. I thought you were going to vamp a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have nothing to vamp.
Young Puzzle says, "Hey, I would like to point out my bag of crushed popcorn that after my sister chased me, pinned me, stole my phone in order to get a bag of popcorn while she's been watching the stream. Thanks, Harley." And Harley says, "Sup, I'm the sister."
That's hilarious.
Cool, fun stuff. Sisters before misters. All right, we're gonna switch over and do marbles on stream. So if you would like to join in, you can absolutely. We're going to get our list of tracks up here, and then all you have to do is vote for them. Of course, it's going to take forever for us to log in because that's just the sort of night it's been. But go ahead and type in !vote, then a space, then the number that corresponds to the track you would like to race.
Sweet. Do you actually read the titles of the... Oh, okay. I don't read them either. Some of the times I do.
All right, my vote is in right now. Scared Straight, which is a pretty solid name for a scary podcast, is in the lead. So we'll see where that winds up. And we'll see how many votes we get out there. 5 right now for Scared Straight, so it is definitely in first place. What else do we got over here in the stream chat? Thank you so much, folks, for joining us. We sincerely appreciate it. Vivian says, where's like dude, beautiful, cute, and human beings are, I think, Vivian originals. So thank you for sharing those with us. We appreciate it. Like we've talked about before, I think most of you are veterans of this. But we're going to race. Whoever wins is going to get some free stuff. We're going to mail it out, and it's usually just like a sticker. If we have a coaster, we give some of those away. Sometimes static clings. I don't know what we have as far as merch goes right now. So it's 2 opportunities. We're going to do 2 races, and you folks can try and win something. So I think Scared Straight is going to be our first track of the evening. Let's check out some of the stats on it. Looks like the record time is 29 seconds, so this is a super fast track. Average time is 1 minute and 51 seconds. So let's just get it going.
What? Free Master Penthouse and Grand Theft Auto Online?
Exclamation point play if you would like to join while Robin just goes ahead and looks at what the Twitch Prime loot is right now. Exclamation point play to join in, and we'll see who can win some free stuff tonight. Let's get this thing working, get a list of the people up here. Everyone can see their marble on stream. Right now, it looks like we have 17 marbles joined in.
If you folks are in YouTube, you can hop on over to twitch.tv/scarishpodcast and join us in Marbles on Stream. It's free to play and gives you just an extra little chance to win some free scarish sticker type stuff.
Vivian says, did I mention how cute you all are? Thank you so much. All right, we have 19 marbles joined in right now. 1 more and we can be up to 20, and there's the 20th. Hey, it Nat, thank you for joining. You're the 20th marble. We're going to give this about 20 more seconds, then we're going to click start, excuse me, and get it going. It was a hiccup. Don't look at me like that, okay? So stop judging me with your eyes. It just happens sometimes. I've been drinking a lot of coffee to stay awake.
Okay.
Very tired. So, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and click start. You have 10 seconds from this moment to type an exclamation point play and join the race, and then we'll see who takes home some free stuff. And by takes home, I mean gets it sent to them. And we are off. Let's get a look at this track since it's apparently short enough that someone can finish it in 30 seconds. I don't know how. I think they probably got launched off those fan blades down there and just launched to the very end. There's really nothing else that I can say. Everyone's kind of running the same right now. Robin, the Snark, Dre, and Robin, how do I say that so I don't offend someone? Tian Long?
Oh, what? Tian Lung?
Sure.
Lung?
Are all running like first through fourth. Right now, Robin is in the lead, but we're getting ready to go into this Circle of Death. It's the Orange Tree was just eliminated along with Robin. Valley Grills and the Scriptory are first and second right now. Scriptory, have you ever won? So, okay, Liz has been watching since the beginning, and she's never won a race, and we do them two a night. Lunabin just got eliminated right now.
You're going pretty far up there by yourself.
Right now, the Scriptory is in the lead. Let's not jinx this too much because there's no size on this.
No!
The Scriptory has been eliminated. The streak continues. Dre looks like are going to make it through the spot. We're going to stop and watch people and see if they can make it through here and who does not. It looks like everyone with the Scriptory is going to make it through. Like literally everyone but the Scriptory. Blanca Bello's back there. Everyone's going through the roundabout thing right now, so we'll see who comes out first. Even Blanca Bello made it through. So let's get down here and see who emerges first. There's not a whole lot of competition after here. Dre is out first, but Valley Grills and Glitch are right behind Dre. Valley Grills took a straight line through that, but there's some rods here that might murder you or just slow you down. We'll see how this is going to work. Hey It Nat is cruising right through as well. And it looks like Valley Grills, congratulations. You took the first race of the night with 1 minute and 43 seconds. So you beat the record of Girl Panic, and there is the Ghost Ball right there. Along with Glitch taking third place. Hey It Nat took second. Cat Beatrix is fourth. Abe's Monster is fifth. And we'll just watch everyone trickle in to finish the race.
So,
it looks like I didn't die this time, so I'm pretty happy about that.
So email us and let us know what design that you're looking for, because I feel like we have a few things and I'm not sure which one you'd be interested in, so let us know.
All right, we got Tian Lung, who is about to finish out, and I'm going to come in dead last if I even finish. I'm getting knocked around by that fan blade back there.
Still?
While the wave of death approaches. Yes, still. Don't judge me. You fell off way earlier.
Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about my ball.
All right, I made it. I won't even get any points, but at least I didn't get eliminated this time. Let's do the final results. Right now, Valley Grills has jumped up to 44 points. Glitch jumped up to 40. Laura Ann is up to 25. The Snark is up to 24. Abe's Monster is up to 28. Hey at Nat is up to 15. Robin is sitting pretty at 79 on this season. We all hate that. I'm at 27, which stinks. The Scriptory down there at 12. Quick shout out to the Scriptory. You have done a lot of races. All right, we're going to have a second one for the evening. Let's get back to this race menu if this thing will accept my clicks. All right, exclamation point vote, a space, and then a number that corresponds to the track you would like to race.
Glitch says, Robin, it's been 2 weeks and my life is still in Duckburg.
You have infected people with that song.
That song is so good, okay? A lot of people don't like the new show, but I think it looks really good. I love David Tennant, so there's going to be Darkwing Duck. There's going to be Rescue Rangers. I'm just so happy for all the reboots.
I just know life is like a hurricane.
Here in Duckburg.
All right, House of Pain is currently in the lead, and also our previous winner voted for House of Pain. So if there's a tie, the previous winner's vote will be taken as our next track. But we'll see. It looks like there's 7, 8 people who have voted for House of Pain. House of Pain is almost for sure going to be our next one. What's that face over there, Liz? Is that the face of someone who really wants to win, or is that the face of someone who's just burning up in this super hot room?
Every game I die.
You've never survived one?
I'm sure she's survived one at least. So we've been doing this since like episode 33, I think. Storytime number 33. We've been doing marbles probably since 45 or 50. So it's not the longest streak ever, but it's a long streak. I think we've been doing the live streams for about a year now.
Yeah.
And I think we started about a few months into the live streams. So, all right, we're going to go with House of Pain. Let's all be real. That's the one we're going to race. Right now, record time is 1 minute and 8 seconds. Average time looked like it was just under 2. So let's click race and get this thing going. Kat, thank you for joining us. Unless you're not the one that's leaving, someone else is leaving and you're saying goodnight. Either way, everyone that's in Twitch, say exclamation point play. And by say, I mean type it. If you're saying it out loud, guess what? You're not going to join. So exclamation point play. We had 20 marbles last time. Let's try and get to 21 so we can have one more than our first race and we can finish the night on a little bit of a higher note, which is always nice to do.
Hello, Emma. Welcome. We're playing marbles right now. If you'd like to jump over to twitch.tv/scaryish-podcast and join us for marbles.
We also only did 4 stories this episode, so it might not just be you. We did 4 because they were fairly long. But still, switch on over to Twitch if you'd like to join us. This is the last race of the night. So we are up to 20 right now. Hey at Nat was the 20th yet again. Congratulations, Hey at Nat. Solid stuff. We're getting flipped off over there. Akbar says, I refuse to listen to the duck song thing. That's hilarious. Emma says, I think my marble made it. So
nice.
If you're over here already, awesome. We're going to wait for about 20 seconds to see if we can get a 21st marble and then kick things off.
Exclamation point play.
All right. It is very hot in this room. I'm starting to melt right now. It's brutal.
It's not too bad. It's been humid the past couple days because the rain is starting to come in, but I feel like it hasn't been as hot, like oven hot, as usual.
She's crazy. It's been like 109 a bunch. It's been
Today
very
was only
hot.
100. It was great.
That's because it was cloud cover all day, and there was a lot of rain in a lot of parts of the valley. I'm clicking start. You got 10 seconds to join. Exclamation point play in the chat right now. But yeah, weather was okay today, and by okay I mean barely tolerable. So humidity, man, is just
You're
brutal.
barely outside.
Yeah, but I have to walk from the parking lot to my job. By the time I get there, my back's covered in sweat because of that dang humidity. All right, everyone's trying to get down through the Plinko machine to start. This is a long one with a lot of fan blades, so we're all going to get knocked around a little bit, and we'll see who gets out of there first. Looks like the Snark, Badger Shell, I'm out there, Cat Beatrix as well, and let's see what happens. Malum is in first place for the first time in a long time. Feels good, folks, doesn't it? Everything's right in the world again, but I'm going backwards. That stinks. It's the Orange, Tree, and the Snark are now in first place. These paths diverge quite a bit, and we'll see what happens if they coalesce at the end. I think It's the Orange Tree is going to take a pretty solid line through this here. Good stuff. The Scriptory over there, however, is taking another solid line, so we'll see who gets through this first. It's
We
the orange
just
tree has
can't
got knocked
jinx
around a
her,
little
though,
bit.
because remember what happened last time?
Yes, that's very true. The Snark just shot right through. We got Lunabin, the Scriptery, Glitch Grim, It's the Orange Tree, all coming up. And these really slow fanboys that just look like boring and sad. Tian Lung and the Snarked made their way around them. So let's follow our leaders.
And then it's the really fast ones.
These are the fast ones.
Whoa.
They have made it through pretty easily, though, onto the second wave of fast ones. They're both getting knocked around a little bit. The Snarked, however, got launched forward. And launched forward again over the bumpy bumps. This might be a victory for the Snarked, unless anyone comes flying up. Tian Lung is right behind. Here's some slowdown rods. Congratulations, Snarked.
You win.
You just took the second race of the evening. Tian Lung finishes second, and Hey It Nat finished third. Laura Ann fourth, and it looks like it might be Glitch Grim coming in fifth. So, oh wait, that's Glitch Grim's Ghost Ball. Woo Scarish was eliminated. It's the Orange Tree was fifth. You also took the record, the Snarked, for the fastest someone on our stream has ever done this track. So,
nice.
Pretty good stuff. Let's go back here and see who's bringing up the rear and watch the wave of death chase them.
Hashtag Team Mud Masks. That was super fun. 10 out of 10. Would do it again.
Dre's going the wrong way along with Epsilon Phi. That's hilarious.
Is it Phi or Phi?
I say Phi. I'm not sure. Dre is really
Holy
going the wrong way,
cow.
man. Here comes that wave. This is not going to end well for at least one person. I can tell you that.
How's that one song go about Dre?
Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. That
Yeah.
one? That's pretty much how it goes. All right. Dre is running. And they might get away in time. Although they have definitely been slowed down. We also only have 30 seconds left. So at
Oh
some
my
point,
goodness.
this game will end.
Poor Dre. Oh, they got out. Yeah.
They got out. They might actually finish this without being eliminated. I think they're going to. They're running pretty hard right now. This is hilarious. Hopefully they don't get stuck on these pulsating rods at all. Oh my God, I'm actually getting a little bit of anxiety watching this now. Here it comes. Oh my
Why
God.
won't it go past? Okay.
There it goes. They're okay. You're going to make it, Dre.
No.
Okay, so I lied. You're not going to make it, Dre.
Oh,
That's
no.
a fucking bummer. Congratulations one more time to the Snark, though, for taking the second race. You have now moved up to 44 points. Hey It Nat moves up to 25. Tian Lung takes a big jump to 15. Laura Ann at 33. Valley Grills is up to 47. And Glitch is up to 43. A's Monster and I are kind of tied up right there, 28-27. Robin's at 79 still, which is a load of shit. Woo Scarish is at 31.
Oh, no.
Scriptery didn't win again. But hey.
You got eliminated? Oh, no, you finished. You didn't get eliminated.
Hey, you didn't die that time. That's good. That's
Just
not a happy
17th,
face.
No big deal.
Not a happy face, but hey, it wasn't that bad. Could have been worse. So let's go back to the regular screen and get this thing signed out.
Cool. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for the live stream. We're really happy you folks have joined us. Thank you for joining us, reading the Storytime episode stories.
Wow, this is a really bad outro. You had
I
a
just
frog
wanna
in your
smash
throat.
my head.
You had a frog in your throat there for a second, too?
No, my night is just...
want me to take it?
Yeah, please.
So one last thank you to everyone who sent the stories tonight. We appreciate all of you. Thank you to everyone who watched us live at twitch.tv/scarishpodcast and youtube.com/scarish. We appreciate all of you. Shout out to Spooky Sister, who was in the room with us tonight. Thank you, Liz, for everything that you do. And shout out to Spooky Mom for doing all the editing on the emails. We appreciate you, too. If you folks have a story you'd like to send us, please email storytime@scarish.com, which is our email address. You can go to our website, scarish.com, click on Contact Us, fill out that form, send it to us that way, or contact us on any of the social medias. You can go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast. @scarishpod is our Instagram. @scarishpodcast. No, @scarishpodcast is our Instagram. @scarishpod is our Twitter. And you can also join our Discord if you'd like. We have a really good community. I haven't checked the numbers on it, but it was up to like 250 the last time I checked. Everyone there is very inclusive, very welcoming, and very, very supportive. And it's a really fun place. And there's a lot of memes. We have spooky memes. We have not so spooky memes. Those are like two separate channels. And if you're a meme person and you like to send them, it's a really good place. Really good source for that stuff. Shout out to everyone who posts there as well. It's a fun time. So a lot of you folks ask, how can we support you? Honestly, tell a friend. Share the podcast with another person. Or send us a story. Those are the best ways. If you want to do so with a little bit of dollar bills, y'all, Robin, tell them how they can do that.
Go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. They're one-time donations, or those are monthly donations, and we have a whole bunch of different tiers. Right now, there's a discount code that's exclusive to get access to the summer merchandise that we have going on for the new design that I put out, which I'm very happy with. It's so cute. And then you can go to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And those are one-time donations that help us upgrade our studio setup and our laptop here that we use to do everything. So
Yeah, we're going to be getting a new computer set up here very soon just because this laptop is starting to age and we put it through its paces like a lot. Like it runs everything all at once. We appreciate Asus. Shout out Republic of Gamer.
Oh my gosh.
I just have to say, like, this is the best laptop I've ever had and it's definitely hanging in there.
I have an Asus. It just doesn't run that well.
But it's run well enough for us to do the podcast. So shout
Yeah.
out to Oliver Technology. We're saying this to inanimate objects because we want them to know how much we appreciate them because we depend on them and rely on them so much. But yeah, I think that's just about everything that we have for this episode of Scary-ish Storytime time. So go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.